So it is not me who is saying or predicting the end of the world. It is the all-knowledgeable God Almighty that is saying in the Quran when it will end. And it goes like this. In Surah 20, verse 15, God says, I will not keep the end of the world hidden. And in Surah 15, God says, we have given you, O Muhammad, the 7 pairs. The 7 pairs. 14. And the letters that I showed you in the first khutbah are 14. 14 sets. So they are, as you see, a fantastic miracle. And God is telling Muhammad what a blessing it was that God gave him these 7 pairs. Now, when the Quran was revealed, there were no numbers. This ALM, the first verse of Surah 2, for example, you can look on them as letters, and you can also look on them as numbers. This is 71. This was 71 at the time of revelation of Quran. We did not have these numbers when the Quran was revealed. A is 1, L is 30, M is 40. 1, 30, 40, the total is 71. You add the 14 sets of numbers, and they give you 1709 total. So we have given you, O Muhammad, the verse, when you look at it carefully in view of all the Quran, that from Muhammad to the end of the world, or from the Quran to the end of the world, 1709 years. After you complete 1709 years, you go into 1710. After Hijrah, which is a multiple of 19, there is one flag goes up, a sign, a confirmation. The corresponding year, AD, is 2280, which is also a multiple of 19. Another flag goes up. This discovery happened in the year 1400. AH. And it said that the end of the world will be 1709. I mean, the total number of the letters was 1709. So how many years are left? How many complete years? Because 1710 will not be complete. Before the end of 1710, the world will end. 309. And immediately a flag goes up. We find in Surah 18, the people of the cave. God didn't tell us how many there are in the cave. And God goes out of his way to tell us, I'm not going to tell you how many there are in the cave. 3, and people say 4. 5, and people say 6. Or 7, and people say their 8 is a dog. Say, God knows how many there are. So I'm not going to tell you how many, but he tells us how long they lasted in the cave. 300 increased by 9. Why? This is a Quranic number. And you look in the surah, and it tells you why God told us about the people of the cave. It says, to remove all doubt about the end of the world. I'm going to say it in Arabic and the translation in English. I mean, what is more straightforward than that? It says, وَكَذَلِكَ أَعْثَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ لِيَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ وَأَنَّ السَّاعَةَ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهَا. That the end of the world, there is no doubt about it. In other words, so this, to remove all doubt concerning the calculations, this is connected with the end of the world. We have given you the 7 pairs. It's connected with the end of the world in Surah 15. The verse before that, before we have given you 7 pairs, God says that God is the omniscient, who knows, the creator, the omniscient, who knows everything and knows when the world will end. وَإِنَّ السَّاعَةَ لَآتِيَةٌ فَاصْفَحِ الصَّفْحَ الْجَمِيلَ إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ الْخَلَّاقُ الْعَلِيمُ. That your Lord is the creator, the omniscient, who knows when it will end. We have given you 7 pairs and the great Quran. So all these signs together tell us that there is no doubt. But it is a piece of information. It is not required to go to heaven. The minimum requirements are believe in God, believe in the hereafter, lead a righteous life under any name. If you're a Buddhist or Hindu or Christian or Jewish or Muslim, under any name, if you worship God alone, the creator of the universe, and believe in the hereafter, heaven and hell, resurrection after death, and lead a righteous life. You can't just believe in God and the hereafter and be a nasty, bad person, liar, cheat, and all that. You have to lead a righteous life. So these three minimum requirements will lead you to heaven. Belief in the messengers, Muhammad, Jesus, Moses, is not required. The angels is not required. Believing in the scriptures is not required. We don't see it in the... Believing that the world will end in 1710 or 2280, it is not required. But it is a valuable piece of information, as valuable as knowing that there are angels and jinns and messengers and scriptures. أقم الصلاة.